Oh boy, everyone. Hello. Welcome to my stream. I just got a Mac Studio that I'm setting up and only one of my monitors works. Very exciting. So just making sure that I'm actually streaming right now. You can see my stream manager if you're interested. I guess I'm live. Excellent. Funny how Twitch takes a few. There we go. All right, so as I mentioned on Twitter, I'm going to be converting definitely typed lint rules from TypeScript old linter Tslint to a new linter Eslint. So, hang on. See if that fixes my display. Guess not. Well. So, fun fact, I don't actually have... oh, they finished. When you install a new Mac, the first thing you kind of have to do, other than set up Google Chrome instead of Safari, of course, is to get your dev tools installed. So that's nice. So you get to see me set a new computer up from scratch. Clone github.com, Joshua K. Goldberg, my fork of definitely typed. You have to do def equals 1 because this repo has like one of the biggest histories in GitHub, and it takes forever to download all commits across all time. But okay. So that's actually not the repo we particularly care about. There is this DefinitelyTyped-Tools repo, which is infrastructure for definitely typed, that includes this Dtslint package. It lints a TypeScript declaration file for style and correctness. It will install TypeScript and Dtslint for you. So this is the only tool you need to test a type definition. Unfortunately, Dtslint is deprecated. It has been for quite some time. If you look at its website, this poorly and correctly formatted warning, it's been deprecated as of 2019. So that's a whole thing. I would not recommend using Dtslint. Instead, use Eslint with TypeScript Dtslint. TypeScript Dtslint is the tooling which enables the standard Dtslint linter to support TypeScript. Okay, so in Dtslint, we have this collection of rules that someone, Nathan from the TypeScript team, I think that was the only person I've worked with, has been getting things from here to Eslint or TypeScript Eslint tooling. This is an example. Let me see if I can post it in the chat. Microsoft, definitely typed tools, pull, what number is this, 489. My chat is being managed on a different computer. There we go. Cool. So this is just the start. It starts removing things from dtslint/dtslint.json. Oh, I forgot to, I might have started, I just haven't been logged in. Pardon my authentication code. Let me just get that in there. It's probably safe for you all to see my auth code, but just in case I made it slightly more difficult. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, so I need to, I think I already forked this repo. Yeah. It's annoying that there's no like go to your existing forks, just go to everyone's existing forks link here. But if I get clone, github.com, Joshua K. Goldberg, definitely typed tools, and then code, definitely typed tools. Oh yeah, I still need to install Visual Studio Code on here. I was going to do the migration thing, but didn't have enough time before this stream. All right. Anyway, let's look at this PR to see how we actually are converting as VS Code starts. So there is this dtslint.json file. Can I just view it individually? Here we go. That contains all the custom rules, out of which so far 2 have been removed, no const enum and no def reference. These are instead added somewhere else. All right, VS Code to apps. Because if you keep in your downloads folder, you'll probably accidentally delete it, like I used to constantly. There you go. Beautiful. All right, install in path with my nice little template password. And here we go. I trust everyone in repos. All right, so here we go. Dtslint.json, which is all these shenanigans. Don't particularly want to go through them too much detail right now. What I'd like to see is, instead of the old no-const enum and no-dev reference Dtslint implementations, those are deleted and they're replaced with Dtslint implementations. So no dev reference and no const enum. I want to see where these are referenced. Like, how are these configured in Dtslint now? And it appears that Dtslint itself does not actually refer to these rules anywhere. So it must be that in DefinitelyTyped itself, there should be a root Dtslint rc.json. Yeah. Alright, so the way these migrations are working is they are getting moved from Dtslint in general, so that Dtslint now only stores the rule implementation, and then the Dtslint rc.json for DefinitelyTyped is what actually, we finished cloning, but actually stores it. Alright. Oh my god, I don't even have Node on this computer. What a nightmare. Oh yeah, I don't even have Homebrew on here. My god. It's only been a couple of weeks since I set up a new computer, and I've already forgotten how much stuff. Alright. Where's my terminal? Still sketch to me that this is the way you have to install Homebrew, just a little copy pasta from the website. Doesn't seem secure, but what do I know? What do I know? Alright, so my job here is actually fairly straightforward, at least in concept. I'm going to take all these rule files, like expect and dt header and stuff, and convert them to Dtslint versions, like no const enum and no dev reference. Also seeing this is a yarn repo, so I should get yarn installed and available at some point in time. Did I already install Node? Did that finish downloading? Or did it not even start? I remember when I was a kid, my parents told me that you had to turn off all your programs and install one thing at a time and then restart. Can't imagine what life would be like if I still listened to my parents on computer advice. It would be a lot less efficient, tell you what. Alright. So, yarn package. Well, okay. Guess my internet doesn't need to work for this. There we go. Yeah, 2 megabytes of RAM. I vaguely remember being impressed at gigabytes of RAM becoming a thing. Funny. Yeah, now I'm on this souped up Mac Mini, Mac OS, Mac Studio with 32 gigs. And gotta say, it's working pretty nice so far. Alright. So, if I remember right, these steps should work. I've had issue with this, so I guess I have to sudo code pack enable. Okay. And now I should have, I don't understand how yarn just comes with things now. Like, how does that actually work? Like, how is yarn prepackaged with Node with this core pack thing? I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's just a bunch of common things. Anyway, once yarn finishes installing, won't have these squigglies. But this is generally how I'm going to get started here. I'm going to have on what is now on the left a Dtslint rule, and I'm going to convert it to the ESLint equivalent. So this is actually going to be a really good demo of how the two compare. Like structurally, what is the difference between an old Dtslint rule and a new ESLint rule? And then also we get to see like how the conversion actually looks, like what that logic looks like. Because I don't have my user settings on, I guess my VS Code is just going to be default. I think I have to yarn, probably yarn build, I'm guessing is the command. Yeah, okay. Yarn build -- watch. Yedo in the chat. Yedo? I'm curious what rig you're running, what computer setup you have. It's always fun listening to people's wild and wacky different things. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go on a quick bio break, pardon me. So I will be back in just a few minutes. Please hold. Okay, all right. I am back. Back in action. Okay. So on the left we have Dtslint, and on the right we have ESLint. I don't know why I'm getting red squigglies, so I just restarted the TypeScript language service. Seems to have fixed things. Okay. Ryzen 2900X, 2 terabytes SSD. Oh, 2 terabytes SSD. That's so nice. I love it. Cool. So here's on the left a Dtslint rule. Let's talk about how it works. Dtslint rules typically had two things in them. They had a metadata object, which is a little self-explanatory for each field. We can go over them. And it has an apply function, which takes in a source file and then returns some results. Typically with a walk function that's set up like this, that takes in a lint context. Alright, so the metadata has rule name, DT header, a description, and maybe also options, but here we don't have the options. Oh god, dang it. Am I sharing OBS? Oh yeah, no, that's... Yeah, I'm on a new setup and the second monitor didn't work and I didn't have time to set it up. So actually, this is my OBS setup. I have desktop share over here, which is nice and recursive. I got show my chat, which is something someone named Ben Myers, a much more experienced streamer, set up. Nice little website. And then here my webcam. So my streaming settings are actually set to 2:1 ratio, 2400 x 1200 as the base resolution. So that way I can safely maximize things and not worry about stuff going off the edge. And then I also don't need to like add like a banner at the bottom or something, which actually reminds me. Turn hiding on. Wonder if I could use that. Anyway, so yeah, this walk function in Dtslint, I'm very brave. Walk function takes in a context which contains, among other things, the source file and this method add failure. And then it lets you do whatever logic you want through the source file. Normally you'd step through the nodes in the source file. And if you're curious about what that means, you can always go to astexplorer.net, which explains and shows off the AST, or abstract syntax tree, for different JavaScript and other languages, Python, Py, etc. The AST, or abstract syntax tree, is a collection of nodes or parts of your source file in a nice structured form. Here I have the TypeScript source file. I'll zoom in a bit. I'm gonna hide location and empty keys. So this source file has one statement. It's got an expression statement, where the expression is a call, where the expression of that call is property access console.log, and the argument is just one string literal node. And as you modify on the left, you can see things update on the right. So TypeScript, old linter Dtslint lets you look through a source file and add failures in any structured way. I will note these two files are not the same. These are different rules. They're just good examples of the structure you'd see. Okay. Are you serious? Streaming isn't showing views? That's so weird. You're right. It's not showing it. Screen. That's so weird. Huh. Let me take a capture of VS Code itself then. Thank you for saying something. I just looked at the stream and you're right. It's showing Chrome and OBS? That's so weird. Method, display capture, window capture, application capture. Okay, so you're just going to see VS Code. That's all. It's all you're going to see, I guess. And then I can always switch around what's being shown. Okay, weird. All right, so on the left, Dtslint metadata and apply with a walk function. So what I'm going to do is also make a new file. Oop. Here we go. DT header TS, because Dtslint rules go by kebab case standard. Yay, it works. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the previous rule. And I'm just going to comment out the stuff that doesn't matter yet. Here we go. So the rule is the result of this create rule method. If you're curious, the docs for this stuff for creating a custom rule are on TypeScript-Dtslint.io, which I realize I can't show. Well, actually, I can. I'm going to do a separate browser. Huh, it's like OBS knew I wanted this. TypeScript-Dtslint.io has docs for TypeScript-Dtslint rules, including custom rules. And per the custom rule docs, the recommended way to set them up is using this rule creator function, which gives you a create rule, which then takes in create, which is the rule logic function. We'll look at that later. Name of the rule, and any metadata for the rule. Ooh, and also default options, if the rule takes options. I'm also seeing here that Dtslint has a create rule in the individual rule files, like no const enum and no dead reference, but they're the same rule creator. I'll switch back to it. Like these are the same. So I'm just going to make a. Actually, let me check if there's like a util file. Dtslint source util. Okay. So exports const create rule. Oh my god, I don't even have my extensions installed. What a nightmare. So must-have extensions that I always set up are Prettier itself, not Prettier Dtslint. No need to run Prettier through Dtslint. Dtslint itself. And a few others that I don't remember. But these are the good ones. All right. Add import. Nice. So here we don't need to create rule from the file's own create rule. We can take it from util, which I'm going to copy and paste into all of these rule files. All right. Now the rule that I'm making is DT header. Open up the old Dtslint rule on the left for comparison. Description, ensure consistency of, here we go, of DT headers, recommended error. All right, and now what are the different messages we might log? If we look at the old context.add_failure_at method in DT header rule, we see that it takes in couple positional arguments, and the result of calling failure on rule metadata rule name and some explanation or some string. What is this failure function? Where does this come from? Ah, this is a utility in the repo that asks you to then see the docs for the rule. Okay, which is actually something that we've basically built into TypeScript Dtslint, where all the rules now have docs to this URL. So this failure function, we're not going to need in the Dtslint rules, but we will need the old explanations. So here we see that these strings in the file, I'm going to have to zoom out just to see this all, are the possible complaints. So before we get into the logic of them, I think I can zoom back in. Type definitions for TypeScript version. These are just the taglines. TypeScript version. Definitions by. These are the different complaints that might be spoken. Alright, so the definitions by complaint is author name should be your name, not the default. That's funny that so many people just kept definitions by myself, that there needs to be a message for it. TypeScript version. TypeScript version should be specified under header. Alright, so this isn't the most exciting thing, which is good. I like it when stuff is boring. Actually, this message could be improved. Minimum TypeScript version for this specific minimum. Alright. So the way an Dtslint rule is typically set up, I'll actually just show you one that's already set up, is you have all that metadata under meta, and then this create function, which takes in the context, returns an object. Each key on that object is going to be a selector for your AST. There's a library called ESQuery that lets you specify what kind of looks like CSS query syntax. Things like any TS enum declaration that is const. So any const enum. And then for each of those queries, you have a function that runs. This is actually a really, really good canonical Dtslint rule example. It just has a query selector, and then if there is a complaint, which this rule thinks will always happen for const enum, you do context.report. And that, folks, is how you write an Dtslint rule in 30 lines that bans constant enums. Yay! For DT header, though, DT header doesn't actually care about the context source files. All it cares about are the comments at top, the source file. So, what I need to do is const something equals context.getComments. Context, I can get source code, that's a method that's available. Something.comments. Get all comments? So get all comments will get all the comments. But get comments after, get comments before. I feel like get comments before. I just want to get the comments before the first node. So context.statements, nodes. What? Oh, that's something is source code. So I want source code dot AST. I'm not sure that this is what I want, but you know what? I'm going to write tests in a little bit. We'll see what happens. Alright, so first comments is type comment array. Let's just copy and paste. See how we do here. So now we're mostly focusing on the Dtslint rule. Let me know if there's anything you want to ask questions about, if any of this makes sense. Is main file. That's a utility. Update import from util. Does context have a file name? Yes. Get file name. Oh, you know what? This rule was just looking at the text, so I don't even need comments. Let's see. Source code text. Source code get text, something like that. Code.text. Oh. There you go. Alright, so it's not context.add failure add, it's context.report on, I think it's location, starts. I'm just going to do the first one now, end. Then it's like message ID would be what's being reported. This is very definitely not syntactically valid yet, but soon. So that's the first one, and I'll just comment out this stuff below. All right. Number is not assignable to type position. Oy vey. Can I do like lock? What is the type of lock? Go to definition. It says source location or position. Position is line and column. Whereas, let's go here. Source location is start and end. Oh, nice. So I can do start and end. Wait, start is a position. So it's either start and end with your positions or line and column. All right. I'm just going to do 0 and 0, and I'll put a to-do to fix these. Then message ID. Is there a way to get the type of these message IDs? For now, I'm just gonna copy and paste these into a type. Just put them there. So now we have message ID as a string. Yay! Alright, so type definitions 4 is the message ID, type definitions 4. Look at that great autocomplete. Love you, TypeScript. And for both of these, I'll just go ahead and wipe out whatever was there before. Here is TypeScript version, minimum TypeScript version. All right, what is this create complaining about? Okay, it was complaining that I was returning undefined or empty objects. I have to return an object. Okay. Cool. You know what, I just had an idea. I'm gonna do location is starts on line 0, column 0. And then end is gonna be line 1, column 0. Although I think line is actually 1 indexed. Yeah, 1 indexed. So it's gonna be 1 and 2. All right. Actually, how does this rule actually work, the original one? If we're not in a main file, then all we care about is type definitions for minimum TypeScript version and TypeScript version. If we are in a main file, then actually we only look for definitions by myself. I would thought we look for these in all files, but okay. What is validate? Parse header parser, what is? Oh, so definitely typed in its own thing, has its own header parser. Okay. Hey, Geometric Jim, welcome over, good to see you again. How are things? I think we saw each other yesterday, if I remember right. I also just remembered I never posted on Twitter link to DefinitelyTyped-Tools, so let me just do that now. And last Tuesday, that's right. That's right. Keep seeing each other. I'm good. I'm just complaining earlier. I set up a new Mac Studio, and now all my settings need to be redone because I didn't have time to migrate before the stream. Cool. All right. So if we're not in a main file, we use our own little search thing. So we don't actually go through the standard validate function. But if we do have an error, then we validate and to get the result validating. But validate might need to be, I don't know, changed in some way. It returns an error, which has an index. What else is in here? Validate returns parse error, which has index, line, column, and expected. All right, I'm gonna put that over to the side. Thanks. All right, so if we do have an error, then we report it, and the location, let me just comment that out for now so I can see things. Oh man, my internet's really biting the bullet today. Struggling. All right. So on end, we have line error dots. Wait, is it just pos? Can I just do position? Starts error dots column. Error dot column and line error dot line. I also need a message ID. I'm just going to make a new one, parse error, because it seems like a generic parser error. Let's make it collapse across lines. Yay. And the complaint that we had in the Dtslint rule is expected, takes in data. I'm going to call that expected. That's how you add in a little insert into your Dtslint rules. I think it's a mustache syntax template. And then you can also add in, I think it's data. Yeah. So I'm going to take this render expected function and copy it over. Where does this come from? Go to definition. Something I could import. Great. Here's another one. Author name should be your name, not the default. That's message definitions by. All right, so at this point, I think I have roughly converted the old DT header rule from Dtslint to Dtslint. Yay! I have copied over the message IDs, the logic that looks for them in the text of the source code, and then the logic for whether you're in a main file or if you're just in another file. I'm gonna, on my keyboard, I hit in auto format. All right. So now that I've sort of maybe hopefully gotten this working, the next step is testing it. Which brings up first two questions. How are the old rules tested and how are the new rules tested? Let's take a look. I'm going to do a file search for DT header and test. So I see under packages, Dtslint test, DT header. We have a whole bunch of cases. This is how the old Dtslint tests were written. You'd write a file, and you could specify a file name. And I see that we have a whole bunch of tests here. Foo bar, oh boy. So I'm gonna have to copy all these over. So that's great. For the new rules though, where are these tested? I see no const enum doesn't have any dedicated files, though it does have a markdown docs file. I see that I'll have to make sure it still is valid after this change. So maybe if I right click, find all references, export equals, okay, great. Find all references on the export. No? Full text search under const enum? Aha. Index.test. So we have a single index.test.ts that runs for a whole bunch of stuff in Dtslint. I don't know that I approve of this. Our general testing philosophy in TypeScript Dtslint is to have a file per rule you're testing, because this is going to get real crowded when we have a lot of rules. So I'm just going to go ahead and split these out. Here, I'll make this same directory but a different file. No const enum test ts. See what I need here. So we've got rule tester is something that was created. And Dtslint utils is missing. Auto add. No const enum is missing. Ah, nice. Auto add there. I see it's almost the same reference. There we go. Cool. So I'm just gonna quickly go to the, actually I'll make this a new terminal. I'm gonna go to the package, packages dtslint, and then I'll do yarn test. That's generally the test command, seems to work here. Oh yay, I have a failure. Not a directory, scandir. What? Why is it trying to scan this as a directory? What code is doing that? Line 78. Oh boy. So what's happening here? This is the test logic, not for ESLint, but for checks. No, for rules in DTSLint. Oh, so this is, what is this doing? Reader 6. Hello, Mark Joe. How's it going? Just trying to figure out how the DefinitelyTyped-Tools tooling works for tests, how tests are set up in the tools used to maintain definitely typed. All right, so I'm in index test ts under packages dtslint test. In fact, let me just, I'm gonna pop that into the stream chat once my other computer loads. Here we go. Boop. Looking at this file, line 72 and 78. So it's reading the directory of tester, which is the same directory, dir name, packages dtslint test, filters out this index file. Then for each test name, check if it's a directory that has a dtslint.json, do some test single in there. Otherwise, read it as a directory and do test single join. So, okay, I want to be able to have more than just one test file here, so I actually prototyped this yesterday, so I think this will work. Say in the else if is or stat sync of test directory dot is directory. I think that's how you get it in Node. Let's see, reader sync stat sync. All right. So now we're saying only read through the things as tests if they are directories. So if I run tests again, bring this up a bit. Takes a while. Hey, but my no const enum test is passing. So yay, they both pass. That means that I can indeed split ESLint tests out of these. So that's good. We've got two. Is there a test utils so I can share the rule tester? I guess some rules are going to need a different tester setting, so never mind. No dash dad dash reference. That's what this one is. Yep. So I'm just going to copy and paste the imports. Rename them. No dad reference. All right. Yarn jest no dash. So that'll test the things. Whoops, this is a .test.ts. And what's happening here? Cannot use import statement outside It was just working. What the heck? What's going on here? This just worked. What? That's upsetting. I import start. I did all the same things. What gives? Oh wait, I was doing yarn test earlier. And okay, it's some different config. All right, fine, whatever. If it works, it works. So I've split up the old Dtslint rule tests. Now I want to also write one for DT header. DT header. DT header. This is also DT header. All right. So ignoring this invalid test, let's write an invalid test. So code file that has nothing in it. What message ID is plural or singular would we expect? I'm guessing it should at the very least have this one, the first look for. So that's message ID definitions by. All right, so if we go to the Dtslint package, we can see what the actual test command is. So I'm gonna package Dtslint. I'm gonna rename this search filter on the test to DT header. So yarn just that in watch mode. Too many open files, can't watch. Great. So I'll just run it once. Should have had one error but had 0. That's unfortunate. Let me just make sure this is actually running. Hi text, little log in there. Do we get the hi? We do. Yay. So I guess a blank file is allowed. Who would have thought? How about a file that just has the one comment in it? Huh. Still no errors. I wondered, do I have to specify a file name for these? Aha. Let's call it types/abc/index. Now let's see what it complains about, if anything. Oops. I hit clear too early. Aha! So I should have had parse error. And the data, let's call it, I don't know. So this is a quick little tip that I do when I don't know what the assertion in a jest test is supposed to be. I will add in something wrong so that it will tell me what the complaint is. So here we expected to equal type definitions for non-npm package. I don't know how we get that, but that's fine by me. Let's see if this works. Ah, so close. I guess that's printing as a regular expression. That's what that looks like. It's like got the escape slashes. Oh wait, I'm almost there. I need to escape my escapes. Oh, trial and error with tests is never the most fun thing, but hey, it works, yay! Now if we get a blank file, I bet maybe this will correctly fail, given that there is no file name. Okay, great. So now that I know what the rules testing looks like, how to actually get it to fail on demand. I think I feel ready to delete the old one. Right click, delete. Totally fine. Yeah, I've been getting bad at this lately, but feel free to ask any questions you want. Responding to the chat, totally fine to ask a generic TypeScript question, banging my head against the wall. No one likes banging their head against the wall with code. Please feel free to ask a question. I'm happy to answer. I sometimes do this on the TypeScript Discord, but I don't always have the energy. While you're typing that out, my next set of steps will be to go to DT header and make sure that I can get all the correct and incorrect cases moved from Dtslint to Dtslint. Ooh, another great question. Thank you for asking, Alex. Do you have more rules to migrate? I'd love to try. Absolutely. I'm personally just going through in alphabetical order. But as you can see from the docs and also from the source directory, there are a lot of them. So if you don't want to intersect with me, the easiest thing would be to start at the bottom. Or if there's any rule in particular you feel like you want to tackle, just like message me or post in the issue or somewhere. And let me actually find that issue. There's some issue somewhere in DTS, or definitely typed tools, which is interestingly under the Microsoft org, not under the Definitely Typed org. I don't know that there's an issue here. That's funny. I've been chatting with Nathan on the TypeScript Discord, but feel free to, just like message me, say on Twitter or on the TypeScript Discord. Oh boy, I don't even have Discord on this computer. There is a channel. My God, does it remember me? Oh my God, I love it. There's a channel, I want to say it's called Definitely Typed, that I'll show in just a moment. Where is it? That's, don't steal my codes. Yeah, on the TypeScript community channel, I've been chatting on Definitely Typed. Here we go. And I'll post this in the chat. Right click, copy link, boop. This is for you, Alex. Okay. Yeah, and there's some helpful text from Nathan here. And then also you can see in the pull request in that repo, which will hopefully soon have one from me. We'll see. Examples. Yay. Okay, so TypeScript questioning. I'm trying to write an interface which describes a class with a static property, but I'm getting as class incorrectly implements interface. Oh God. I'm going to say I probably don't know that there is a way to do it, or if there is, how to do it. I know interfaces and static properties are real funky. So like interface has static property number. Not allowed. You can't put static in there. Like if you do class, this has the static property, and then like const instance, comment that out so it doesn't blame. You can do like instance dot, what is it, prototype dot. How do you actually get constructor? I don't remember how to do this. What happens when we log these? Oops. Oh wait, you're not even looking at my Chrome, are you? You're looking at Belly. So yeah, in the Discord, definitely typed on TypeScript Infra. Nathan posted a bunch of good stuff. And then also in the playground, which sorry, I was just typing away without showing you. I forget how to actually get the property here. Instance.constructor. Like, how do you actually get from an instance to the static property? Here we go. I'm going to rename it to the static property to make it a little more clear. Yeah, I don't know that there's a way in TypeScript's interfaces to describe static properties of classes. Like the closest thing I would think of in the type system would be to have a declaration saying that the constructor is something that has a property called the static property. But yeah, I'm guessing what you're doing is something that's not like super type safe, or if it is, it's like super based into classes. Like, it's funny because TypeScript, when it came out, had a lot of marketing around how you can use classes now. So people thought that, oh, it was just classes in JavaScript. But actually, TypeScript is, in my experience, not great at meta programming or shenanigans with classes. Funny how that worked. Oh, Angular. I love so much about what I hear from Angular. Like, they have proper DI and everything, but then you get these class shenanigans, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, feel free to DM me in Discord or Twitter or Twitch or something, and I can try to help out. Lazy load an Angular model. It has a static method which returns its default component. Yeah, I'm not an Angular person. Nothing against it, just haven't gotten around to use it. So good luck. But okay, back to VS Code. So we got the DT header rule, which is now implemented in ESLint, but has a bunch of tests in TSLint. So I'm going to now recreate these valid tests in ESLint rules. So we have this file, which just says this isn't the main index. And then the file name is types foo bar index DTS. Foo bar. No, not a distraction at all. Thank you for the engagement. If you have this question, then at least a bajillion other people have that question. I have previously had it. And I wish that someone had told me the answer instead of me banging face against TypeScript for a while. All right. So now we have another valid rule. How to format these. The code is this stuff. And the foo slash v0.75 index. Looks like these are properly filled out. It's got the version and everything. So that's nice. Aha! Should have had no errors, but I got one. Error parsing header expected project, but it had project. What's going on here? That's unfortunate. Yeah, Angular, it's like cybersecurity. One of those things that I know is really cool, and you really only scratch the surface when you try it for just an hour or two. It's nice having everything be done for you and all in one with the build system. I know they have a lot of really good tooling there. Standalone components. I saw something about that. All right, I feel like I'm going to need to debug here. I don't know that we have tests set up yet, but one thing I can do is, I don't know why this is happening. So before I set up a whole debugger, which may not be more complicated, I can log the text and the error to the console to see if that helps. Oh yeah, how is Vue these days? Did they have anything recent come out? I feel like I haven't heard about Vue in a while. Alright, so the error is index 39, line 2, column 1, expected project. Oh, you know what the issue is? This is spaces, it's indented. Ha ha ha. Nice, it passes. Awesome. I'm just going to actually start deleting files as I go so I don't lose track of where I am. So we have types for, oh, whoops. DTS, DT header, test slash DT header slash Dtslint Json. Nice. So now we are up to the v1. Oh, I used to do PHP. Very long time ago I did PHP. It was fun, but I definitely wanted more structure than what PHP circa 2013 had to offer. My first tech internship was in high school, and it was on something that was similar to MediaWiki, but ScrewTurn-Wiki. I want to say it was like the .NET equivalent. But then like my first long-term actual tech internship that wasn't like a high school setup thing was on a Drupal website. And Drupal actually I thought was really good. Like it does a lot for you. It has all these great modules, internal and written by the community for things like backup and more styling and integrations. And I actually really enjoyed working in it. So that was fun. And yeah, so many people just work in PHP. Like it's evolved, I'm sure, a lot. I saw it has like real classes and namespaces and stuff now. Wild. Cool. All right, so DT header v1 has this stuff. All this stuff here, which I'm going to copy and paste. And do v1. Oop, and I got the only true there. Yeah, it is really nice how PHP can be embedded in the page. Like for the most part, we still haven't gotten in JavaScript's HTML land to the point where people do things like P and then like, I don't know, I'll switch this to PHP, but like the fact that you can just do like echo hi is like so freaking nice. I forget how to end that in PHP. So this, like that just works. Like what? Server-side languages. Ha! We did not have 3 million daily users on our Drupal site, but I can imagine that if it's not built for that kind of scale, you probably had a lot to deal with. This would be a great point in time for you to poop on like Joomla or WordPress or something if you really wanted to, but I don't know if that's still a trifecta of people pointing fingers at each other these days. I respected also how Drupal had a really good migration strategy or like versioning system, or like every other version. I don't know actually if it was good. I probably didn't have enough insight at the time to make that statement, but at least it was very well explained. I liked that a lot. Oh yeah, Laravel. I've been wanting to. I can't say I've been wanting to, but if I were to go back to PHP, I would want to use that. I heard a lot of good things about it. Meanwhile, in React land, we think we might have stabilized the build system. We just have to wait for ECMAScript modules to be standard and used by everyone. Ha ha ha. All right, types foo index DTS, and then not index DTS. So I guess, oh, this is v1. No, doesn't have to be. Not index. So not index has no code in it, and this is supposed to be allowed. And go. By the way, if either of you have like custom sites or a portfolio link, I'd love to see what you've been up to. I don't do much with custom sites, but it's a whole area that people work on. It's cool stuff. And I think I have finished the valid versions for DT header. So now let's get to the invalids, the complaints. So we've got code, which is types/bad URL. That's what this one is going to be complaining about. And the file name is types bad URL index DTS. But instead of an error parsing header thing in the file itself, we add it as an extra plain old JavaScript object. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. And then put the expected there. No, it's close. It's close. I think I don't actually need these escapes, or most of them. Don't need these. I think I do need the one in front of the D, so I'll double escape that. Does that get it closer in the error message? Nope, I think I needed to double escape. I forgot already. That's what I did in the last one. Double. My fancy multi-select. Ooh! Cool. Yeah, let me, because I'm running two computers, I'm going to add this to a bookmark in one, switch over to Chrome, and then we'll see how fast. Oh, wow, look at that. It showed up in my bookmarks already. Ooh. Look at this freaking blog. Look at this. I love it with the little angles. Oh, this. Sorry, I'm using like baby talk. Look at the little. No, this is great. This is really well done. I'm jealous. My blog is like kind of old and it doesn't have like a snazzy logo or anything like this in the design. Ooh, I like that your code snippets are relatively small and get bigger as they go on. A lot of people start with huge code snippets at the beginning and it's just super unapproachable. But yeah, I'll read this later. Thank you for the link. Ooh. I try to keep my employers separate from my Twitch presence, and all personal custom stuff isn't on GitHub yet. About to release a CMS that's Twitch focused. Hit me up. I'm very interested. I have kind of the opposite working situation. I just keep everything in one place, which may eventually come back to harm me, but I hope not. Front end's a pretty forgiving, happy industry, and I don't want to be hamstrung. All right. Invalid number 3. The line should be 1, but it actually is on line 3. Okay. And you know, I'm just going to put the column here just to get a little more granularity. I'm also going to put column 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put column 1, 2, 3 for all these errors so that it'll complain. Also alphabetical everything, yeah. It'll complain and it'll know what it should be. Fudge! Thank you. Wrong screen. Oh. Life is hard. I've never seen that happen before, that just randomly one thing just isn't happening. That, like, you see my desktop and that's it. So weird. Anyway, it's OBS 28 beta, so maybe it's some weird issue with them on the M2 support or M1 or whatever support version. Okay, so from top to bottom, it's not 1, 2, 3, it's 2 for this one, then 2 for this one, then 30 for the columns. Auto scene switcher. What on earth are you referring to? That sounds awesome. What is an auto scene switcher in OBS? I could look it up, but I'm using up 2 of 2 from my computers. But I'll look into that later too. Thank you. Let's run again. The tests. 1 failed. Error line should be 2. Oh no. Which one is this complaining about? It's complaining about comment ... I guess it actually is line 1. Is that the only complaints? Yes. Oh my god. Tools. Automatic scene switcher. Whoa. This I will have to configure later. That looks like it is not quite set it instantly and forget it, but that's awesome. Thank you. All right, so continuing here, it looks like these are like kind of end-to-end testy-ish tests that test both DT header, the rule, and the header parser. And I would personally write more unit tests testing the header parser, so I don't have to go through this, but maybe there are unit tests and these are just kind of the major cases to test. So I've done bad URL, now let's do bad URL username under the invalid tests. So we have this to copy paste. Hello, IzzyDev, welcome. We were just going over some Dtslint to ESLint migrations. Fun stuff. I wrote the rule and now I am writing tests, and you can get links from, if you can see the previous chat, that. Otherwise, on my Twitter, which I just posted, I'm good, honestly. I just set up this Mac Studio most of the way. I didn't have time to migrate, so once in a while, people on the stream have been enjoying, if that's the right word, me getting annoyed at not having something installed. And also my OBS is all weird, so that's the whole thing. It's not showing my VS Code when I share my desktop, which I've never seen before. But otherwise, I'm good. How are you doing? As I copy and paste from the old Dtslint tests to the new Dtslint test format, instead of marking the failures inline, they are plain old JavaScript objects that you can assert for. So if we run test again, I am always interested in projects, especially if they're paid. Yeah, if you have any more details, it would be good to hear them. Column is not 1, 2, 3. Wait, where is it finding 1, 2, 3? Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. But yeah, if this is a thing you're interested in sharing, please do. Otherwise, you can always DM me on Twitch or Discord or Twitter to share. Bot that tracks flight data through an API and can use Node Canvas to visualize graphs and data, Node cron to post in channel. Oh yeah, that's cool. It's not quite my area of expertise, but in general it's coding, and I've done graphics before, so yeah, hit me up. Cool stuff. Cool, so it looks like I got this test to work. We only have like 3 more tests to go, yay. To be honest, I'm kind of bored. I like writing tests, like I like good tests, but when I have to migrate tests from one format to another and it's not something I can automate, gets a little boring. Line 3, column 30. So what else is there? Is there like end column? End column, there we go. I'm actually going to add an end column to all of these because I do want to also test the, I don't know, the size of the error, the length of the squiggly. So actually on every line, I'm going to multi-select and put end column 4, 5, 6, and obviously false number because none of these have more than a few dozen column sizes, or I guess 182 here, but the source code is no more than 67. All right, and the actual failures author name should be your name, not default, which if I remember right is actually its own message, definitions by. Cool. So it's definitions by, and gonna rerun. Error line is actually 1. Interesting. Is that right? Error line should be 3. I could have sworn the error line should actually be 3. And aha, this. Interesting. So this is unfortunate. Cool. I don't want to turn my chat into salary negotiations, although that's all very tempting stuff. So yeah, you can either email me at your email or chat on Twitter, Discord, or Twitch DMs. Always happy to chat. But thank you for the offer, Izzy. So here's what I'm getting confused about. How did the previous rule know to put it on error line 3? Like, how did it know that this is the specific thing, this line is the one to complain about? So I might have to, I did delete the old file. Add failure at IDX. So it wasn't at, Alright, so when we look for, what is look for used again? Alright, so we look for this thing in the string, and then if we do text and stuff search. So if we do find it, meaning if the thing is found, we report on that line, okay, search.length. add failure at, so the at is IDX. Okay, so start is line IDX, and end is IDX plus 1. Oh wait, no, it's the same line, but then it's column of search.length. Okay, got it. So it's just giving a squiggly. Okay. It's giving a squiggly for the length of the search. Got it. So definitions by myself. All right. So now we have invalids all need corrected end columns. Oop. I see most of them are actually supposed to be undefined. So you know what? I'm just gonna remove all the end columns I added and run again. Whoopsies. All right, so now if we look through the complaints, it's GitHub not / important is the project, and the failure, oh, it's only one failure, should be error line is 3. I think I did that wrong. Oh, it's position IDX. So as Dtslint rules were based off of your characters in code, ignoring line endings, and Dtslint is including line endings. So what is it? So pos, end has a pos. Where is the position, which is line and column? Or I could do, so location is either a source location or TSEStree.position. Source location has start and end. My God, I always mess up these types. So end is, wait, not source location. Oh, I'm getting confused. So location is in rule DTS, which is either a source location or a position. A source location is a start and end, both of which are positions. So I have to do line and column. There's no way around it. All right. So the line, actually I remember this vaguely. Context.line, source code, context equals source code, but I think there's also like source code dot line start indices and lines. Okay, yeah. So let's just get those for now. So although I have an index in the text, what I actually want to do is I kind of just like want to search through the lines. For const line of lines, if line that starts with search, then we do the complaints. That makes more sense to me. So looking at the source code lines, that's how we know. So the line is going to be, I'm going to have to switch this to a I plus 1 loop because I need to know the index. All right. So the line is I, and the column is search.length. Hopefully, I only used the line once. Okay. Now let's try this. So instead of looping over the text, I loop over the lines and check if the line starts with the not allowed thing, like definitions by myself. And the error line, oh, it's line I plus 1, because Dtslint line reports are 1 based instead of 0 based. I'm sure there's a very good reason for that. I do not know that reason. Hooray! All right. And column should be 30, it says, which means I put column as 30, but it's actually supposed to be 1. Where is it? Column 1, and then it would be like end column would be like 30 or something, I forget. Whatever the length of definitions by myself is. 27, I was actually pretty close. All right. By the way, 30-minute warning. In half an hour, I'll find someone to raid. I hope Ben Myers is still streaming. He had a great guest, Florian, today. But yeah, any other questions y'all want to ask, feel free to pipe up. I might finish a little early if I just get a pull request out sooner, which is very exciting. But yeah, code's looking good. Anything you want to chat about? TypeScript, JavaScript, life, career. I'm moving to Philadelphia in a month and change. Very exciting stuff. Which is part of why my setup is like kind of haphazard, it's a little temporary. But okay, we just did bad author name. We have 2 left to go. Foo, index, and not index. So I guess this is going to be complaints about the header. Okay. All right. Oh, my wrist pad keeps falling. Need to glue this thing down or something. All right, and I'm going to copy and paste here. It's message ID parse error. And the foo demuted.minor patch version not allowed. Okay, that's a new message. I haven't seen that one before. And the file name is types/foo. See if that works. The furthest I've ever moved was 15 minutes from where I was raised. You know, I gotta say, there's something really nice about moving 15 minutes from where you were raised. I did that for college. It was like a 10-15 minute drive, depending on traffic. But also there's something fun about going to a new place and knowing relatively fewer people there. I've always enjoyed it. Error column should be 26. Wow. That's good. Yeah, thanks. I hope it goes well too. The furthest I ever moved was from New York to Seattle, which is like 3 time zones away. I forget the actual thousands of miles. Change is fun. My parents are less excited about me moving far away, but you know what? They got me for like 18 years, and then another 4 where I was right next door, so they can deal. And the complaint here should be on line 1, column 0 with an end column, it looks like. Header should only be in index DTS. That's a different complaint. That's this one. There you go. In column F, I'm going to guess 30 again. Really weak passport, so probably would struggle. Ugh, passports are the worst. It's the most annoying thing. Oops, I changed the wrong one. Oh no, what did I change? I changed the wrong test. Dang it. Oh no, this is fine. This is good. I just forgot to change the file name. It is not index. Yeah, I almost messed up my passport renewal. I had some travel this past summer and I didn't realize the passport was expiring this summer fast for me. I just assumed I had more time. Whew. That was a nightmare. Column should be 0 on the last one, but it's actually 1. Okay. Did I do something different in the rule? Column 0, search.length. Error.column. Column 0. And I put column 0. I'm confused. Column 1. And column 24. Close enough. Okay. All right, looks like I have copied all the things. Yay! So I can remove the DT header tests from the Dtslint. Stefan's Romanian, he's got all the good EU stuff. Ugh, I'm so jealous of the EU people. I guess you EU people, or at least, is it Stefan? I've heard all of them. I used to be friends with a Stefan and a Stefan and a Stefan at the same time. Fortunately, they did not know each other. My yay. Thanks. Stefan. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the equivalent of the EU thing is Americans having a lot of states, but our states are much more like each other than, say, like France to Spain, to Italy, to Amsterdam. Like, the EU countries, I feel like, are so much more distinct and have so much more condensed, rich, long history than us. I like the EU. Also, America's pretty beautiful. We got a lot of good stuff. And like every country, we have a bunch of idiots ruining it for the rest of us, but eventually we'll get there. Also, I miscalculated the time. It's almost time for me to go, so I'm gonna package this up as a pull request, but I'm only gonna make it a draft PR because I still actually have to run these on Definitely Typed to make sure that there are no regressions. Because all these, I'm gonna switch to Chrome again. All these Dtslint things run on the giant Definitely Typed repo on the rules there. And although things seem to work, you never know. And the fun fact, Definitely Typed stores community written types for 7,194 entries. When it reaches 9,000, I will be very excited. Over 9,000? Yeah, the first 1,000 only gets them midway through the C's. You're working on no useless files! Yay! That's a good one. That's a really good one. Don't include empty files. I feel like we would have that in TypeScript Dtslint proper in our recommended rule sets, except people really hate having empty files get complained on. Like, I just made the file. But it's really good to run in CI. There it is. Oh, Dtslint is archived. But there is definitely a listing for it in DefinitelyTyped-Tools. Let me do the file search. No empty files, empty. Like, oh, no useless. That's what it was. There we go. What a great docs page. Bad, empty, good, something. So thank you for working on this. Really appreciate it. Anyway, let me send this as a pull request. I don't have a nomenclature for the rules. I'm just going to say Dtslint dt header. Like, I don't know what to call these branches. Converted dt header from Dtslint to Dtslint. Push u origin. Do I have origin? Push u origin. Dtslint. Do I not have my tab? Ugh. Ugh. I haven't even auth with GitHub. Ah! That's easier than I remember it being many years ago. Alright. Just... Oh boy. Why do I have... What? What? What is August 8th? What? What? Git branch. Wait, did DefinitelyTyped-Tools move to main and I'm still on master? Is that what happens? No, they're still on master. Tisk tisk. I'm gonna get up Gcom Joshua K. Goldberg, DefinitelyTyped-Tools, gonna check my repo. 1 ahead, 2 behind master. I don't know where that one commit came from. TypeScript bot. I don't know how that bot was allowed to run in my repo. But I'm gonna git check out master, git pull. You know what, I'm gonna git reset hard head 30 just to... No, I mean, honestly, the way I got into Dtslint was small bug fix or docs fixes and then little bugs. Start with whatever works for you. That's the right way. Alright, so now I've pulled my master to be the same as the upstreams, DefinitelyTyped-Tools. So if I git check out Dtslint dt header, I should be able to get rebase master, which just rewrites history. Nope, that didn't work. So I'm gonna reset that branch. Oh, fudge. Gonna gonna check out git rebase abort. Is that what you have to do? -- abort. I'm gonna check out master, delete the branch that I just fudged around with. Just Dtslint dt header, check out p Dtslint dt header, and then git cherry pick the commit that it was on. All right, so I deleted a branch. Oh man, I have to set my author on git. That's funny. I'll just edit it in git config. Oh, pardon me, in VS Code. Semantics dev. I was just talking about how I was going to go raid you. This is unfortunate, but hello, thank you for the raid. Love it. You are all seeing me. You're all seeing me finish up. I'm sending a pull request. I'm about to quit also. Also, I'm setting up a new computer, which is why my stream is running a little over. So, yeah, so just to give you an overview of the things I just did. Dtslint is an old deprecated tool, deprecated as of like several years now, that used to be used for linting TypeScript code. Now we use TypeScript Dtslint, the standard tooling that lets you run on run Dtslint on TypeScript code. But there are some tools, such as the tools behind DefinitelyTyped, that still run on Dtslint. So we're migrating all the Dtslint rules that run on DefinitelyTyped, which is the repository for third-party type definitions, to use Dtslint instead. But thanks for raiding. Thanks for coming over. How was the stream if you're still here? How did everything go over there? Leave this as a draft for reference. I still need to run these on DefinitelyTyped itself to double check they work as expected. Double check it works as expected. And this I can post on Twitter. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. The progress report. Boop. And I will post this on the stream chat in a moment. There we go. All right, so someone needs to tell me who I should raid. You just keep transferring these people over. These raiders. I see CM Griffin is live, so I'm just going to do that because I'm tired and I want to go. But this was fun. Starting raid in 10 seconds. Thank you everyone for watching my stream. I really appreciate it. You can support me on GitHub sponsors. And if you ever want me to do open source work, let me know. I'm always interested in things.